Welcome to the New Zealand Parliament. We're really excited to be able to talk to you in this forum about what we're doing in our IT space. I'm William DeVos. I'm the Deputy Chief Executive responsible for IT on behalf of the Parliamentary Service. Join with me on my left, James Picker, who's a clerk assistant in the Office of the Clerk. And on my right, we have Sarika, who is a solutions architect in our IT team. So the New Zealand Parliament is a slightly unique parliament in many ways. We have 120 members of parliament. We also support around 130 electorate offices, which can be spread anywhere in the country. On top of that, we also support ministerial services and ministers, which is, I know, isn't probably that common out there for the rest of you, but that's something that we do here. So we look after both members of parliament and ministerial, yet we're the parliamentary service. So that's quite exciting and gives us just a unique, different customer base. So what I'll do is I'll just get James and Sarika just to briefly introduce themselves. So James, what's your relationship with IT?
So, hey everybody, it's lovely to talk to you. So yeah, as Will said, I'm James Picker, I'm the clerk assistant in the Office of the Clerk. So I have, as part of my portfolio, the consumption of corporate services by the office, mainly from the Parliamentary Service, which obviously includes IST. So Parliamentary Service provide pretty much all of our IST. And we have a relationship with them through both the day-to-day, week-to-week operational IST that you'd all be very familiar with, the provision of all of our hardware, software, network, the whole package, through to support for our capital projects, the development of our bespoke applications that support all the teams across the business as they support members, select committees, the public, all of the people that we help to engage with the institution of Parliament. The key thing as a customer of Parliamentary Service is the partnership that we have with them. They understand the uniqueness of the Office of the Clerk and the work that we're doing on a day-to-day basis. It's unlike anything anywhere else in New Zealand. You can't do what we do anywhere else. We don't have another House of Representatives tucked away someplace else. And we're able to work really closely with them because they understand what it is that we do day in, day out.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Sarika Bhojwani. I'm working as a solution architect for Parliamentary Services, and I sit in the IST department of Parliamentary Services. I can start with the cloud strategy to give you a brief update on what we are doing in that space. So our cloud journey started back in 2016 when we moved our website into Microsoft's public cloud, Azure, and we had two other initiatives after that to roll out Microsoft Teams and Power Apps for users, but both the initiatives were put on hold after the change in Australian law of Data Privacy Act, and but recently with Microsoft's announcement of moving their data centers in New Zealand, we have been re-looking into our cloud strategy and to leverage the cloud platform to provide the solution to a quick and effective solution in the COVID era. And so when COVID arrived first in our country, and we all went into the lockdown, there was a need for better collaborative tool to support the remote working arrangements. And that's when within few days of lockdown, we were able to roll out Zoom to everybody. And that has been really effective in supporting our work from home strategy. And there are a few other cloud initiatives, like we are currently implementing the ITSM module of the service now, but there have been a lot of work prior to that, which will you like to elaborate on that? Yeah.
So I'll just say that we are rolling out a ServiceNow platform for Parliament, New Zealand Parliament. One of the really exciting things about ServiceNow is it's an enterprise solution. So we're really moving away from our old model that maybe many of you are familiar with, where every department, every team has their own system that they're using to interact with the customer. And what you end up with is 10, 20, 30, 40 different systems that the IT team then has to support, which makes it difficult to support because you have different softwares, you need different system analysts, you need different developers, and that's in this, really the situation we're in right now. We've got 40 to 50 different systems probably running on Precinct for all the different teams, all the different services we provide. So what ServiceNow, we're very young in the ServiceNow, I must say. We only started in August last year. So what we're really looking to do, though, is roll as many of our services into it. We also have a portal, one portal called Atia Online, which is where you can go to get help if you're a customer. And what we're hoping to do is, whether it's an IT, HR, finance, Any type of query at all, you can go into that portal, get help, and access the services directly. So it's a huge, ginormous step up for us in our kind of customer service offering. So we're really excited to be on the ServiceNow journey, and I think we're just looking at all the opportunities I guess we can leverage from the tool. So,
Customer of the Parliamentary Service, I think what Will touches on there is also really important. He's absolutely right. The Office, for example, has a number of bespoke applications that have been built over the last sort of 10 to 15 years that support the work that we do. But increasingly, MPs and the people that we support want to go to a single place for whether they don't care whether it's IST related, HR related, or procedural, or about select committees, or how do I ask a written question, or they just want to be able to quickly and easily do that. And how we can work with the Parliamentary Service while they're on that enterprise journey is really exciting for us, because we can look at some of the things that previously would have been, Hansard have got a system, select committees have got a system, the House Office have got a system, actually look at where those systems overlap, what applications Parliamentary Service are working on as part of the network that would deliver those services really helpfully for us, what benefits we can get out of a cloud, and actually just deliver services to MPs and to the public in just a more cohesive way.
So just to add to what James and Will has already mentioned, we are currently in a phase of implementing the ITSM module in the ServiceNow platform, and it is due to our existing ITSM tool was a legacy application and we were due for upgrade. So we are implementing that, and the subsequent phases are to implement the onboarding and offboarding of different type of users into the system to streamline the process and make it more effective. And so there are a few things that we are trying to achieve from this platform, as they have mentioned earlier. So one is to provide single platform for all the users to put any type of query to any department. So it is one place where they can go and ask for the help or service. And the other thing is to give more visibility to our management team to gauge what quality of service we are providing to our members and other staff, other customers, so that we could take some of the benefits of those learnings to improve where possible.
I mean, and just to touch on that one, Sarika, I mean, if you were to ask me right now if I knew how well our service desk team was performing, our HR team, our payroll team, we wouldn't know, because we just have no data. We have no reporting from our current systems. So that's one of, like Sarika mentioned, that's one of the powerful things we get from ServiceNow is we can actually see what are our SLAs and are they being met. But more importantly, our customers can see those as well, because at the moment they pretty much they send their query to a shared email inbox, they get an automated reply, and then they just wait. Whereas with this, we're going to be able to actually deliver an ongoing, I think, service improvement.
And the other big initiative that we are working on is refreshing our digital strategy. So we are trying to trying to deviate from giving one standard service to all, to an a la carte service that fits the need of the specific role. So in that space, what current initiative is going on is providing the bring your own device kind of a initiative, which will allow members to work on the device that they can opt for. And Microsoft Intune is something that we are leveraging to implement that. And James, do you want to add something on the?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of it comes back to the point that I was making earlier on, just to kind of what I would describe and what we do describe in the office as sort of partnership with the Parliamentary Service, working alongside the service on the development of the strategy, knowing what it is that is the Parliamentary Service's strategic direction when it comes to what they want to do, both with services that were previously based on site, moving to cloud, how we can align what the office is doing every year with its capital investment with the Parliamentary Service's IST strategy. And making sure that both organisations are cognizant of each other's main requirements. The office has obviously got a number of things that we do that obviously the service don't. Hansard's a very good example of that. We're in the process this year of developing the business requirements for a new Hansard production system, or HPS, but we can be working with the Parliamentary Service, knowing what strategic direction they're taking, what their offerings will be in the years ahead, and what we can think about in terms of possible solutions for developing a Hansard system that will last between 6 and 10 years.
And I think, just to build on what James said, it really is a partnership approach between the Parliamentary Service and all our customers. And the digital strategy is something where we actually want to bring all of our customers' needs, all of their systems into one comprehensive strategy. I'd say in the past, we didn't do that. Every organization managed their own strategy. And of course, that's difficult for us, the Parliamentary Service, because if you're supporting 2, 3, 4 different organizations and they all have their own strategic initiatives and what they want to get out of it, and they're all doing it separately, it's hard to actually gain a long-term vision for actually what you want to achieve as a parliament. And then supporting that's difficult as well. And the other thing is the office doesn't really have a lot of IT capability or capacity. They need that advice. And so what we really see our IT digital strategy being is on the one half, we're going to have, what are the IT requirements? When is a system going out of life? What are the other things we're doing around here that we could utilize? Where are the optimizations we can take as far as utilizing enterprise solutions? And then, of course, the office brings the need. What's the business need? What does Parliament need? What are members going to need to do their job in the 21st century? What are they going to, not what do they want today, what do they want in a year, 2 years, 3 years? So, this is it's a new piece of work. We've just started working on really this year, but we're hoping to have it kind of ready to go by around halfway through the year. So exciting.
The other initiative that we are working on is data center move. It's not so much a customer-facing initiative, but government releases the earthquake compliance code every year, and then all the buildings have to comply to that earthquake compliance code. And the current building where we were hosted was due for going into the earthquake strengthening work, and that's where our data centers were. And now we are in progress. We are doing a progress by moving the data centers from that building to a Parliament House. And while doing that, we are also upgrading a lot of the technologies. We are making it more, speed. We are making it more, upgrading it to more of the latest technology in that space.
Yep. So, like Sarika said, simple requirement. We had a data center that it didn't have, it wasn't an earthquake strengthened building. So, feasibly in Wellington, we're in a high earthquake risk zone. And we couldn't, if our data center went down, we could lose years and years of parliamentary information, but which we do back up, but could take a long time to recover. The other thing was even our room wasn't even fit for purpose over there. It was using, for example, water sprinklers. So if we'd ever had a fire in the building, the whole server room would have been put out of action for months anyway. So this is really just a long-term feasibility thing for us. So I guess the other things we can talk about is generally how we're structuring our IT team. So we are looking right now actually at how we're structured. So at the moment we're very much structured around functions. So what someone does, they're in teams together. But we are starting to look at maybe a more agile sort of cross-functional team structure. It was still early days, but it's something that we're definitely looking at. We'd be interested if anyone else out there in the forum is using that kind of structure and how it works. What you've found is the positives and minuses. I think the other thing that we're really focusing on at the moment is women in leadership for IT. At the moment, regrettably, we don't have any women in formal leadership roles, which is something that we're definitely working on. And we have a new strategy actually that's going to look at some ways that we can kind of develop and promote. And hopefully, I think, we're targeting to have more women in leadership in IT for sure in the future. So, are there any kind of closing thoughts, James, from you, from a kind of, IT perspective?
Yeah, I touched very briefly just on what Will's talked about there about how IST is organised. I think as a customer, to see the change in IST that has come in the last few years and the continual progression of that around not just having one group of people that are focused on a particular application or a particular customer. You've got guys in your team in IST who know the services that you're delivering to us, the services that you deliver to your own people and around the country, but equally the services you deliver to MPs, and we're able to get, it's kind of a horrible management phrase, but cross-pollination of ideas. Guys can be telling us what they're doing in other spaces so that we can get the benefit of that. It wasn't that long ago with both Will and I will be able to remember it being very siloed in IST. We didn't know what was going on in the members' space or in the minister's space. It was just what was happening in the office. So actually having a group of people in IST who are extremely excited about the work that they do. They're all incredibly engaged in the work of Parliament and in making sure that people can engage with Parliament, which is obviously key for both organisations. So, no, the work that Parliamentary Services have done to continue to improve in the IST space has been superb for the office. We really do get the benefit of the expertise that comes and means that we can, what in New Zealand a phrase we would use, stick to our knitting. We're proceduralists. We help the members and the House operate. We're not IST experts, nor should we be. We can be working with PS on what we need, and they can be the experts helping us to deliver it.
So I think, we've talked about a lot of things. I think, one of the things James has just touched on, I think that you've heard a lot in this video is partnership, and that's really the services approach to IT. We want to partner with our customers, I guess, to deliver a seamless experience for them. This isn't, a game where there's winners and losers. In the end, we all win. And that's kind of the approach we've really taken. And I think we've gone from probably what was 2 years ago, quite an adversarial relationship to much more of a kind of a partnership approach. And I think the other thing that we're really thinking about now is we haven't really done a lot to enhance the capability for members in a long time. And we're thinking about, or their staff even, most people are still using Outlook. They don't really have a system to kind of manage what they're doing. And we just want to start engaging more with our core customers to talk more about what they need. So, we're kind of in a big period of change. Any closing thoughts from you, Sarika?
No, I'd say I'll agree with you that our focus has been in providing the best service to all of our customers, be it members, be it core staff. That's our main focus, and I do agree with all.
Well, on behalf of us all here in New Zealand, thank you so much for listening. We'd love to have any questions. So if you have any questions at all, send them through, or we look forward to engaging with you all at another time. From us all here, take care and all the best.